Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at Meta's Q3 2024 earnings. Got a lot to unpack here. We have their investor presentation, the press release, and we've even got transcripts from both their earnings call and a follow-up Q&A.
Wow, so we've got the main event and then some behind-the-scenes commentary, too.
Exactly. It should give us a pretty good view of what's going on. One thing that really jumps out is their focus on AI. It seems like it touches almost every part of their business now.
Yeah, it's not just talk anymore. It's really baked into everything they're doing.
Okay, well, first things first, let's talk about their reach. Over 3.2 billion daily active users across all their apps. That's wild. Almost half the planet using a Meta product every single day.
It really shows the power of that network effect. The more people using it, the more useful it becomes. And that attracts even more users. And of course, advertisers want to be where the users are.
And, for a while there was all this talk about young people leaving Facebook, right? But it seems like that trend is reversing, at least in the US.
It's interesting, isn't it?
And they're really leaning into video content to try to keep people engaged, making Facebook a much more visual and immersive experience.
Makes sense. Video is huge right now, and Facebook wants to make sure they're not left behind. And what about Instagram?
Instagram Reels is definitely having a moment, and it's booming globally. Plus, their algorithm is now prioritizing original content, which is good news for creators.
Oh, definitely. It means you're more likely to see something unique and creative instead of just the same old stuff being reposted over and over. It's good for viewers, and it helps creators get discovered.
All right, so now let's talk Threads.
That thing blew up overnight.
Yeah, 275 million monthly active users, and they're adding over 1 million new signups every single day.
So basically, Meta's using its massive user base to launch these new products. I mean, they can promote Threads right on Instagram, right?
Right, and Threads is quickly becoming a serious contender in the social media world. It's not just a Twitter alternative, it's a potential rival.
It'll be interesting to see how Twitter responds.
Okay, so now we're getting to the really cool stuff. Meta AI. Over 500 million people are using it every month.
It's huge. I mean, quietly, they've become one of the biggest players in the AI world.
They're using it to personalize experiences, find information for people, and even create content.
And it's all powered by their large language model, Llama.
And get this, they're already training Llama 4 on a massive server cluster, apparently bigger than anything anyone else has publicly reported.
That's serious commitment right there. They're investing a ton of resources into AI, and they're constantly pushing the limits. It's almost like they're not just trying to keep up, they're trying to set the pace for the whole industry.
So they see AI as essential for their future growth, and not just in social media, across all sorts of industries.
Absolutely. It's not just a feature. They see it as a fundamental part of how the world is going to work.
All right, let's switch gears a bit and talk about hardware. What about those Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses? I hear they're selling like crazy.
Well, they are stylish, but they're also packed with AI-powered features. I mean, you can literally ask them questions, and they'll answer you. They can help you remember things and even give you real-time suggestions. It's like having a little AI assistant right there on your face.
And that's not all. Remember Orion, their first full augmented reality glasses.
It's like a step right into the future. Imagine a world where the physical and digital just blend seamlessly. That's the promise of Orion. And it's getting closer than we think.
It definitely seems like they're going all in.
And they're putting their money where their mouth is. They're planning some big increases in capital expenditures, especially for 2025.
So they're not afraid to spend to make this vision a reality. And it's already paying off in some areas. Advertisers who are using Meta's AI-powered ad creation tools are seeing a 7% increase in conversions.
Yeah, that's pretty significant. And it shows that AI is not just hype, it's actually making a difference in the real world.
And even WhatsApp, which has always struggled with monetization despite having a massive user base, is starting to see some real revenue growth.
Their click-to-message ads and paid messaging features seem to be working. They're finally figuring out how to make money from WhatsApp without alienating users.
So they're investing heavily in AI and the metaverse, but they're also getting smarter about how they monetize their existing platform.
Yeah, it's a good balance. You got to keep the lights on while you're building the future.
Okay, so let's take a closer look at their Q3 numbers. Revenue came in at $40.6 billion, a 19% increase year over year. Not bad at all.
Especially in this economic climate. That shows real strength and resilience.
Their family of apps, which includes Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and WhatsApp, brought in $40.3 billion of that revenue, also up 19% year over year.
So still the heart of their business, and advertising is still the main driver there.
Yep, they saw a 7% increase in ad impressions, and get this, a whopping 11% increase in the average price per ad.
Which means their AI-powered ad targeting is getting even better. More relevant ads mean more value for advertisers.
And their family of apps operating income was a cool $21.8 billion. That's a 54% operating margin.
They're definitely running a tight ship. Even with all their investments in new stuff, they're still incredibly efficient and profitable.
All right, before we move on to Reality Labs and the metaverse, let's quickly touch on their other revenue category.
Which, for anyone who doesn't know, is mainly WhatsApp business platform revenue.
Right. And that jumped by a crazy 48%.
Wow, that's impressive. Hitting $434 million.
So it looks like their efforts to monetize WhatsApp through business services are really starting to pay off.
Yeah, businesses are definitely seeing the value in using WhatsApp to communicate with their customers and even handle transactions. It's a trend that I think we're going to see continue.
All right, now let's talk Reality Labs. This is where their vision for the metaverse really comes into focus.
This is the long game for them, right? Pushing the boundaries of virtual and augmented reality.
Yeah, they're developing the hardware, the software, and even the whole ecosystem for how we interact with technology in the future.
It's pretty ambitious.
So their Reality Labs revenue hit $270 million in Q3, a 29% jump from last year.
Driven by sales of their VR and AR products, right? Like the Quest headsets and those Ray-Ban Meta glasses.
Exactly. People are clearly getting more and more interested in these immersive technologies.
Yeah, it's becoming more mainstream.
But Reality Labs still reported an operating loss of $4.4 billion for the quarter.
Which isn't all that surprising, right? I mean, developing this kind of cutting-edge technology takes a huge investment.
It's not about making a quick buck. They're focused on innovation and building a solid foundation for the metaverse.
So playing the long game?
Looking ahead to Q4, they're projecting total revenue somewhere between $45 and $48 billion.
So still expecting strong growth, but it sounds like they're being a bit cautious, which makes sense given the current economic climate.
Yeah, things are a bit uncertain out there, and that could definitely impact spending on things like advertising.
Absolutely.
For the full year 2024, they've adjusted their total expectations to be between $96 billion and $98 billion.
So a bit lower than they previously thought. It shows they're keeping a close eye on costs, even while they're pouring money into all these new ventures.
Striking that balance, right?
Yeah.
Investing in the future while also being fiscally responsible.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just throw money at every shiny new thing.
And speaking of spending, they're also projecting a pretty big jump in capital expenditures in 2025.
And that's mostly for AI infrastructure, right?
Yep. Servers, data centers, networks,
Yeah.
all the stuff needed to support their AI ambitions. It's a trend we're already seeing in their 2024 spending, but it's going to ramp up even more next year.
So their full year 2024 capital expenditures are now expected to be between $38 billion and $40 billion.
A big chunk of that is going towards building out their AI capabilities. It really underscores their commitment to making AI a core part of their business.
Not just hype for them, they're all in.
They've also said that Reality Labs' operating losses are going to increase significantly year over year in 2024.
Which makes sense. They're still in the heavy investment phase, developing new products and expanding that metaverse ecosystem.
So they're refining and monetizing their existing platforms while they're also building out these new technologies like AI and the metaverse.
It's a two-pronged approach, trying to win today and tomorrow.
And it'll be fascinating to see how it all plays out.
Absolutely. These are big bets with potentially huge payoffs.
Okay, let's dig deeper into Meta AI and how it's already changing the user experience. Over 500 million monthly active users.
That's massive. It's on track to become the most widely used AI assistant globally by the end of the year.
How are people actually using it? What are the most common applications?
Well, they're using it to gather information, get help with how-to stuff, explore their interests more deeply, and even create images using AI-powered tools.
So it's becoming this multifaceted digital companion that's woven into people's daily lives.
Yeah, it's not just a gimmick. It's actually proving to be useful. And as the underlying AI models like Llama continue to evolve, we can expect even more sophisticated and personalized applications to emerge.
It sounds like we're just at the beginning.
Absolutely. We've barely scratched the surface of what's possible with AI.
And it's not just for everyday users, right? Llama is also playing a key role in their business-focused AI initiatives.
Right, like the development of AI agents for businesses. It's a game changer.
Yeah, Meta is empowering businesses to create their own AI agents that can handle things like customer service, sales support, and even lead generation.
It's a way to automate and personalize interactions with customers at scale, making things more efficient and hopefully more satisfying for everyone.
This could really transform how businesses operate.
Oh, absolutely. And it's just the beginning.
We've talked about how AI is already boosting Meta's advertising business.
Those Gen AI ad creation tools are making a real difference.
Yeah, advertisers using those tools are seeing a 7% increase in conversions. AI-powered personalization is making ads more relevant, leading to better results.
And a better experience for users, too. Nobody likes being bombarded with irrelevant ads.
Meta is also testing some really interesting new ways to measure and optimize ad campaigns using AI.
Like analyzing the sequence of actions a user takes before and after seeing an ad.
Exactly. It's all about getting a deeper understanding of user behavior and being able to fine-tune campaigns to be more effective.
It's taking ad targeting to a whole new level of sophistication.
All right, let's talk WhatsApp. We know they've been working on monetizing it for a while.
It's been a slow burn, but it seems like they're finally starting to see some real traction.
Their click-to-message ads and paid messaging features are driving some serious revenue growth.
They're finding ways to make money from the platform without ruining the user experience.
Yeah, it's a delicate balance.
They know they can't afford to alienate their users. WhatsApp is all about trust and convenience.
And they're also focusing on click-to-WhatsApp ads, especially in regions where WhatsApp usage is already high.
Smart move, like Brazil, for example. It allows businesses to connect with potential customers right where they already are. No need to jump to a different app or website.
Exactly. It makes the advertising experience much more seamless and less intrusive.
And the growth of paid messaging, driven by businesses using the WhatsApp business platform, is another encouraging sign.
Businesses are seeing the value in using WhatsApp to communicate with their customers.
It's not just for chatting with friends and family anymore. It's becoming a serious business tool.
So they're using both advertising and business-focused features to monetize WhatsApp.
A multi-pronged approach. And it seems to be working.
Now let's step back and look at their capital allocation strategy, especially with all these big investments they're making in AI.
It's about understanding their priorities, right? Where are they putting their money? And what does that tell us about their long-term vision?
They're emphasizing a long-term perspective. They're investing in a variety of opportunities that they think will pay off over different timeframes.
So not just chasing quick wins, but also making strategic bets on the future.
Exactly. And that's where their significant capital expenditure growth in 2025 comes in.
Most of that's going towards AI infrastructure.
Right. They're building the foundation now for the AI-powered future they envision.
And their willingness to increase operating losses for Reality Labs in 2024 shows that they're willing to be patient.
They believe the metaverse will eventually become a significant revenue driver. It's a long-term play.
And it's in line with their history, right? They've taken risks on emerging technologies before, like mobile and social media, and those bets paid off big time.
So it's not unreasonable to think they could do the same with AI in the metaverse.
Exactly. Their
Yeah.
track record speaks for itself.
They've also stressed the importance of being flexible with their capital allocation.
Yeah, that's key in the tech world. Things change so quickly. You have to be able to adapt and seize new opportunities as they emerge.
Agility is crucial.
If you're not moving fast, you're falling behind.
Okay, let's dive into their Q3 financial performance.
Let's see how those strategic decisions are translating into actual numbers.
Revenue came in at $40.59 billion. That's a 19% increase year over year.
Pretty impressive. Especially considering the economic headwinds, it shows the strength of their advertising business and how well they're monetizing their platforms.
Advertising revenue was $39.885 billion.
Still the main driver, but it's interesting to see the growth in their other revenue category.
Which was $434 million, up 48% year over year.
That's mostly from the WhatsApp business platform. Shows they're making progress in diversifying their revenue streams.
Okay, now let's look at their expenses.
It's all about balance, right? Investing in growth while also keeping costs under control.
Total costs and expenses for Q3 were $23.239 billion, a 14% increase from last year.
A lot of that increase is due to investments in areas like AI infrastructure and Reality Labs, hiring more people, building out their capabilities.
Their cost of revenue went up by 19%.
Driven by infrastructure costs, more servers, more data centers, more network capacity.
Research and development expenses also jumped by 21%.
Investing in the future, pushing the boundaries of AI.
But interestingly, Their marketing and sales expenses actually decreased by 2%.
They're finding efficiencies there, maybe using AI to optimize their campaigns and target their audiences more effectively.
And general and administrative expenses were also down 10%.
Lower legal costs, maybe.
So they're being strategic with their spending.
Investing in growth areas while trimming costs where they can.
All right, let's talk about their capital expenditures, which are a really good indicator of their long-term priorities.
It's all about where they're putting their money.
Their capital expenditures in Q3 reached $9.2 billion.
A big chunk of that went to expanding their server infrastructure, data centers, and network capacity, all to support their growing AI capabilities.
And they said that some server deliveries were pushed into Q4, so their Q4 capital expenditures will likely be even higher.
So this trend of heavy investment is going to continue.
And they're projecting significant growth in capital expenditures in 2025.
They're in it for the long haul. They're building the infrastructure for an AI-powered future.
And a lot of their spending is also tied to the refresh cycle of their server infrastructure.
Makes sense. They rely on those cutting-edge servers, especially for their AI work. They need to keep up with the latest technology to stay competitive.
They're also investing heavily in building out their network infrastructure to handle all the data and traffic that comes with AI.
It's all connected. You need the servers, the data centers, and the networks to make it all work.
Their capital allocation strategy is clearly focused on establishing the infrastructure they need for their AI-driven future.
They're putting their money where their mouth is.
All right, let's zoom out a bit and think about the bigger picture. What are the implications of Meta's all-in approach to AI?
It's a bold move. It could reshape not just their company, but the entire tech landscape.
They're moving beyond their traditional focus on social media and venturing into uncharted territory. They want to redefine how we interact with technology.
It's a big vision.
And their investments in AI infrastructure, research, and development are a clear sign that they're serious about it.
They're not just experimenting. They're making AI an integral part of everything they do.
And their open source approach with Llama is likely to speed up innovation across the entire AI industry.
By making their language models available to everyone, they're fostering collaboration and driving progress at an incredible pace.
It's a fascinating time to be watching all of this unfold.
Absolutely. Meta is at the forefront of a technological revolution.
And their bets on AI have the potential to create a more personalized, efficient, and immersive digital experience for billions of users.
It's all about pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. Meta's really going all in on AI, and it's touching almost every aspect of their business.
It's not just a side project for them, it's a core part of their strategy for the future.
And it's not just about improving their existing products, right? It's also about building entirely new experiences, like the metaverse.
Exactly. They're thinking big, and their investments in AI infrastructure and research show that they're serious about making this vision a reality.
And one thing that I find particularly interesting is their commitment to open source AI with Llama.
Yeah, that's a big deal. By making their language models available to the wider developer community, they're essentially accelerating innovation across the entire field.
It's like they're saying, hey, we believe in the power of AI, and we want everyone to benefit from it.
It's a smart move. It fosters collaboration and allows them to tap into the collective knowledge and creativity of a global community of developers.
So what do you think the broader implications of Meta's AI ambitions are for the tech industry as a whole?
Well, I think it's safe to say that they're setting a new standard. Their aggressive investments in AI infrastructure and research are putting pressure on other tech giants to keep up.
It's like a race to the top, and the pace of innovation is only going to accelerate.
Exactly. And their open source approach with Llama is likely to make AI even more accessible to smaller companies and startups, which could lead to even more disruption and new ideas.
So it's not just about Meta. It's about the entire tech landscape shifting towards an AI-powered future.
Absolutely. Meta's actions are having a ripple effect throughout the industry, and I think it's a positive thing. It's pushing everyone to think bigger and bolder about what's possible with AI.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Meta's Q3 earnings and their AI-powered vision, it's clear that they're at the forefront of a major technological shift.
They're not just adapting to the future, they're actively shaping it.
Their commitment to innovation, their strategic investments, and their willingness to embrace both the challenges and the opportunities of AI make them a company to watch very closely.
Absolutely. They're a fascinating case study in how a company can use AI to not only improve its existing business, but also create entirely new possibilities.
Well, it's been a great discussion. Thanks for breaking it all down for us.
My pleasure. It's always exciting to talk about a company that's pushing the boundaries like this.
And thanks to everyone for joining us for this deep dive. We hope you found it insightful.
And as always, stay curious and keep exploring the world of technology. It's changing faster than ever, and there's always something new to discover.